What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel where we speak the truth, we're honest, we give out takes on the Miami Dolphins. It is Monday night, October 13th, 2024. Thank you all so much for joining me here tonight. We're here to catch up on our Miami Dolphins. Yes, we had a bye this week, so there is no stressing, no biting fingernails, none of that over the Miami Dolphins. We just got to sit back, relax, and watch football. It was an week of football in the NFL. I don't even know what the best game was. It was probably the Commanders and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens won that game 30-23. And now the Dolphins are off their bye week, and we're back in business. As I hope I hope we weren't relaxing over the bye week, and I'm gonna talk about that when we get to that. So we will talk about the bye week. We'll talk a little bit about this matchup against the Colts next week, and we're gonna talk about today's news, which Mike McDaniel dropped in the press conference today about Tua Tagovailoa and about Bradley Chubb. We're going to get to all of that. But I thank you guys so much for joining me. Before we do so, man, we had a hell of a weekend on this channel. AEW Wrestle Dream. A lot of people tuning in. I appreciate you, those who did. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out the Wrestle Dream review. Great pay-per-view from All Elite Wrestling. They just continue to deliver banger after banger pay-per-view, and I'm loving it 100%. So go ahead and be sure to check that out, man, because it was a good show. It was a really, really good show. So now that we got that out of the way, we might as well just dive right into this. And the first thing I want to talk about is the Mike McDaniel at the press conference today and the news that he dropped. First thing we'll talk about is Bradley Chubb. He did say about Bradley Chubb that Bradley Chubb's practice window is not going to open this week. He is optimistic about him playing in the future, but he's not going to open the practice window for him this week. So I think there's a certain limit that the coach opens up the practice window for a specific player, and if they don't reach it by that time, then he's out for the season. I don't know, man. I really haven't heard much about Bradley Chubb this offseason. Not this offseason. This season in general with him practicing. But, I don't know. He had a torn ACL in December. You got to see how these weeks play out. And, I'm going to say the same thing in this video when we talk about this game versus the Colts. You got to see how these games play out the next couple weeks, because say we go 1-2, right? These next 3 games, we go 1-2. We're 3-5 going into week 10. It's not worth bringing back Bradley Chubb whatsoever, especially with a killer schedule to end the season. It would absolutely not be worth it to bring back Bradley Chubb, but this is what happens when you continue to sign injury-prone players, man. 2022 trade deadline. Chris Greer trades for Bradley Chubb. He went with Bradley Chubb over Roquan Smith. We'd be sitting in a totally different position right now if we had Roquan Smith on this team instead of Bradley Chubb. But it's a decision of the general manager, and I don't know. Again, it all depends on how this team is in the next couple weeks. How we play in the next couple weeks is going to determine the entire season. Possibly this one game against the Colts is going to determine the entire season for us. Because if we continue to lose, then we should be a selling team at the trade deadline, getting ready for the future, getting ready for next season. But if you pick up a couple wins and you get back into the groove of things, then maybe you make a couple moves at the trade deadline to fill your holes. We don't have a lot of pass rushing right now. Our top pass rusher is Emmanuel Ogba. Chop Robinson is very raw. He's very green right now, I would call him. That's a perfect word to describe Chop Robinson, is green. Chop Robinson is getting pressure, but he's not finishing. Chop Robinson is not getting sacks. The only edge rusher that is getting sacks is Emmanuel Ogba. And look, our tackles have been able to get sacks as well. Zach Zeeler, Calais Campbell, they've been able to get sacks, but we need that pressure from the outside. So, with Chubb and his injury, I doubt that we are going to have... I doubt that he's going to make a return anytime soon. So we're going to have the same pass rushers that we've always had. And, yeah, I have no idea when his practice window is going to be open. Now, Mike McDaniel, he did say Tua Tagovailoa is likely to play football again this season. His practice window is eligible to be opened up October 23rd, which is next Wednesday. And the target game for his return has always been Week 8 versus the Arizona Cardinals. Him coming back Week 8 versus the Arizona Cardinals has always been the target for Tua's return. And that game is next week. So I will be shocked if Tua does not play next week against the Arizona Cardinals. And I'll tell you what, about Tua and him coming back from the concussion, he's coming back, okay? We set the record straight. He's coming back. Mike McDaniel, no smoke and mirrors, no tiptoeing around this, no building tension with your fans. If he's going to play next week, you need to announce that he's going to play next week. And the reason is, it gives us fans something to look forward to actually look forward to, okay? I know we beat the Patriots last week, but if you're getting all excited about the remainder of the season after a 5-point win over the New England Patriots, stop it. You need to grow up and grow a pair, okay? You need to grow up if you're getting excited over a 5-point win against the Patriots. Did you see how they played yesterday? They looked horrendous, okay? That's nothing to celebrate about. You need to actually get the fans excited about a Miami Dolphins game. And if you announce that, Tua is going to play next week against the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to open his practice window up, and we're going to allow him to play versus the Arizona Cardinals. I'm hooked. I'm actually excited to watch Dolphins football now, with Tua coming back from the 4-week absence, the 5-week absence with the bye week. So, at this point, it's inevitable that he is going to play no matter if we win or we lose this week against the Indianapolis Colts. He's going to play. And, could winning or losing against the Colts have a factor in him playing or not? I don't think so. Regardless if you win or lose, I hope it's a win. But regardless of what happens, he's playing next week. So, at least he should. He should be playing next week. So, that is huge news. Tua is on his way back. And for the Dolphins, I'm hoping they get a little bit healthy. And they have this bye week to recover. I know we have injuries right now with Devon Achane. Recovery time for Teron Armstead's always a plus. I know that David Long hasn't been all that healthy this year. Jalen Phillips is obviously out. Guys like Jordan Poyer, guys like Javon Holland, guys like Cam Smith, give them an extra week to rest and recuperate from their injuries. I don't think Javon Holland's going to play this week with the broken hand, but I have no idea how long he's going to be out for. So that is something to monitor, not this week, but, for the next coming weeks. But I really hope this team and the head coach used this bye week to reflect and talk about what's gone wrong in the first half of the season. Not the first half, but, the first 5 games of this season. I hope they use this bye week to go ahead and reflect on the first 5 games, and particularly the offense. Because going into, ever since we've gotten all these weapons on this team, you've had people in the national media, you've had fans saying that you put any quarterback in this Mike McDaniel system, you put any quarterback with these weapons, and they will succeed. The only reason Tua Tagovailoa is succeeding is because of the system he's in and the weapons that are around him. And that couldn't be any further from the truth, because you put Skylar Thompson in, he was trash. You put Tim Boyle in, he was trash. You've put Tyler Huntley in, he was trash in the Titans game, and in the Patriots game, he looked solid. Not fully where we want him to be, but he looked solid. But it's nowhere near where this offense was with Tua Tagovailoa. Nowhere close. So, is the offense like this is this really an offense that's tailor-made just for Tua Tagovailoa? Because there's no reason this offense should be struggling this bad with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane, Jalen Wright, Odell Beckham, Jonnu Smith. I just named all of our targets. I just named 7 targets we have on this team. 7 really damn good targets that we have on this team. There's no way this offense, with those weapons, should only be scoring 10 points. I'm sorry. There's no way they should be only scoring 10 points. There's no way that we are settling for field goals. We end up settling for field goals over touchdowns, which last year's team was scoring touchdowns, at least in the beginning portion of the season. Now, we can't even move the ball. We can't even move the ball up and down the field. It's horrible. It's horrible. The offensive line is bad. It's really bad. They had a solid game against the Patriots. We could have found our identity with the run, but again, we were playing the Patriots. The Patriots are the worst team in the AFC. The Patriots are in our division, but the Patriots are not competition. The Patriots are not good competition at all. So, yeah, we might have found our identity with the run game, but can our coach be consistent with that? Can Mike McDaniel be consistent in running the football? And he needs to reflect the most. It is our coach who needs to reflect the most, because this is his offense. No matter who the quarterback is, this is his offense. He's calling the shots. He's calling the plays. There's no reason for this offense to be failing with these weapons on this team. I'm sorry. It's just, it's crazy It's crazy how we can't even move the ball. The only reason you won in week 5, again, was because you were playing the Patriots. That's why. That's the only reason. So, I mean, look, I hope you went into the bye week. You reflected. You made your mistake. You fixed your mistakes. You corrected everything that you needed to. And you're ready to get back to fucking work. I hope they just didn't, let's go on vacation and let's dilly-dally, all that shit. I hope they spent the entire week reflecting on those first 5 games. And I hope Mike McDaniel made sure these players were accountable for their mistakes. I'm talking about guys like Julian Hill. Okay? Hold them accountable. Just hold them accountable. He doesn't hold his players accountable at all. But, I hope that's what happened over the bye week. Because we will tell. We will tell on Sunday if these players are doing the same thing they did before the bye week. We will tell. Now we're going to dive into this game against the Colts. Okay? You have 2 weeks to prepare for the Colts. 1 week is in the books. You've got an entire week to prepare for the Indianapolis Colts. Okay? The Colts are a good team. They're not a great team. They're a good team. They have talent on offense. Their defense is not good. Okay? Just the reality of the situation. The Colts defense, ladies and gentlemen, it's not good. And if I read you the stats, I will be proven right. And I'm not going to read them to you on Friday, because Friday is going to be our preview for the Dolphins and Colts. But it's bad. It's really, really bad. Their defense stinks. But they have talent on offense. It seems like Anthony Richardson is going to get the start against the Dolphins. They've been playing Joe Flacco for the last 2 weeks. Anthony Richardson got injured week 4 against the Tennessee Titans. And they lost to Jacksonville. And they beat the Titans yesterday. So, the Dolphins beat Jacksonville and lost to the Titans. They got blown out by the Tennessee Titans at home. So, there is a lot riding on this game, possibly for the remainder of the season. If you go out there and you beat the Colts, which, by the way, you were underdog going into this game, as you should be. But if you go out there and you beat the Colts, I don't care how you beat them, then guess what? There's new life. There's new life in the Miami Dolphins organization with Tua Tagovailoa coming back shortly. But if you lose to the Colts, then we are going to be talking about Carson Beck. We're going to be talking about Cam Ward. We're going to be talking about Jalen Milroe once again. And we're going to be talking about trading players at the trade deadline who are not going to be on this team in the future. And I've talked about this many times. Guys like Teron Armstead. Guys like Raheem Mostert. Potentially a guy like Odell Beckham, who's only on a 1-year contract. Defensive players, who knows? Maybe they trade someone like Jordan Poyer, who's on a 1-year contract. But if you lose this game to the Colts, then this fan base and the Dolphins media are going to be talking about the Dolphins trading players instead of making a push potentially for the playoffs. Because I'll tell you what, and I will be a little positive here, with the start that we had in the beginning of this season and how putrid this offense was, if this team finds a way to turn it around and come January we're somehow in the playoffs, okay, that's an accomplishment. Okay, that's a major accomplishment for this team. It's not the accomplishment we wanted going into this season, but that's still an accomplishment. So I don't want to talk about too much. I don't want to talk too much about this game because I'm going to be talking all about it on Friday. But Anthony Richardson seems to be the starting quarterback. The Colts are a good team. They are a good team. Are they a beatable team? Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. The Colts are a beatable bunch. This is not an impossible game to win, home or away. You can absolutely beat the Indianapolis Colts. It's possible. It's possible. Their offense, they have talent. They have good weapons for AR. And their defense is hot garbage. And we'll talk about that more on Friday for the preview of the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts. And if there's anything else that happens throughout the week, I'll be here right here on the Big Fight Field channel talking about it all. So that is all I have for now. We had a huge game on Sunday. We're back. The bye week is over. No more relaxing. And by the way, I want to mention this. It's about 7 o'clock right now. Monday Night Football tonight. Bills, Jets. Massive game for the AFC East. Massive game. And this is basically how it is. If the Bills win this game, the Dolphins jump the Jets in the division. But the Bills have a comfortable lead in the AFC East by 1.5 games over the Dolphins. Okay? However, if the Jets win tonight, if they win on Monday Night Football tonight, yeah, the Dolphins are in third place, but the Jets, Bills, and Dolphins are all a half a game apart of each other in the AFC East. So for you Dolphin fans, and I'm sure you guys are going to be tuning in to Monday Night Football tonight. For those of you who don't know who to cheer for tonight, cheer for the fucking Jets. Okay? We did it last year when they played them on Monday night. We'll do it again. Alright? Cheer for the Jets tonight. We're back in the race. And we go to Indy and we get a fucking W. That's how this week needs to go. Alright? Let's beat the Colts. Beat the Colts. Figure out a way. Make it ugly. I don't care. Just win. Guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm hyped. I'm a little hyped for this week, man. Got a little bit more to talk about with this game against the Colts. But, man, Friday, we're going to bring the Thunder. We're going to bring the SmackDown. We're going to bring the Thunder. And we're going to preview this game against the Indianapolis Colts. Friday here on the Big Fight Field channel. It's game week. It is fucking game week. And it's a huge one. It's a huge one. Thank you all so much for joining. Subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter. Colin_Joseph. All that good stuff. I'll see you Friday. Or potentially later in the week. Who knows. But have a good one. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. I'm out. Peace.